You speak a lot about mindful companies, and now in Fortune Greece Network, we are in the session of mindful teams. So I would like also a definition. What is for you a mindful company?
Yeah, it's a great question, Tasos. I mean, indeed, we call them mindful companies, responsible companies. I would call those companies who really understand that they don't have a God-given right to do things. That's actually a quote from Satya Nadella, our CEO. There's no God-given rights to do things everywhere in the world. You need to earn the respect and eventually the license to operate, to do things in the countries, the communities where you work as a company. And to me, that's the beginning of understanding the role that a company should have in the world. Now, having said that, what does it mean as an example for a company like Microsoft, where we start with the purpose that we discussed and the mission of the company, and then we really look at our core capabilities, our core unique technology innovation, our people, employees of thousands, our ecosystem of expertise, and we think about the unique areas where we can enable an inclusive and also sustainable economic growth in the world. And so we decided to really focus on four of the key United Nations, SDG goals, the big sustainable development goals that we have as humanity by 2030. And we've decided to pick those four things. The first one is quality education. I think you and I just discussed, of course, the role we see for ourselves, skilling, upskilling, developing opportunities for people, starting in the early days at school. And we have a huge investment we do as a company to enable those communities of teachers, learners to do more, and clearly as a result, address the second goal of the UN SDG, which is to create decent opportunities and growth for people. And so we see a role as well as enabling jobs creations, revenue development opportunities for businesses and countries and nations, so that they become obviously more productive and more efficient and can achieve more with their citizens. The third arena where we also want to bring our contribution, of course, is creating a more sustainable world. As a company, we made it clear 2 years ago that by 2030, we'll be a net negative company in terms of carbon emission, and that by 2050, we'll be actually recycling back, if I may use that expression, all the CO2 emissions we had since our inception as a company back in 1975. And when we decided to move beyond that commitment, we decided also to help our customers to basically make sense of their data to create a sustainability plan. So we've been announcing recently what we call our Cloud for Sustainability, which is a cloud-based platform on Azure that enables our customers to connect all the data they have across their enterprise. There's many ERP systems, production systems, we have a lot of data. You make sense of the data, you homogenize the data, you benchmark them with others, companies in your industry, and then with that, you really define a meaningful plan for your Scope 1, Scope 2, Scope 3 plan to cut CO2 emissions to become net negative. So that's one example of sustainability as a company. And the last